Hello everyone, MFPallytime here, and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2. In the last video, we figured out how to get the Lady Vengeance, which is the ship we stole away from the Magisters, moving. But Dallas the Hammer was able to track us down, and we were forced to use Malady's demon powers to escape to a realm that's in between life and death. We encountered our gods who were being attacked by the Void, I believe is what they said. And now we need to figure out how to leave this location. Malady should be around here somewhere, I'm sure. Probably at the helm of the ship. No, she's not there. Where is she? What if we take the helm?
Malady got me here. Maybe she can get me out.
Maybe. Okay, let's split up. Fane, you go to the end of the ship. I'll check the lower decks for her. Because I genuinely don't know where she is. We should still have Alexander on board somewhere. She's not at the end of the ship. She's not up high. Where is she then? She doesn't appear to be in these back rooms. Although the silent watchers that were here are now gone, presumably. The silent monks, I suppose. I don't know how silent watchers and silent monks actually differentiate between themselves, but yeah, no one's there. It looks like we were able to find her.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up much longer. We need to go.
I have some questions.
There's no time. I can't hold us here. Brace yourself. This might hurt.
So, let's just review who's here. Tarquin, Sergeant Zerilia, who is able to recruit mercenaries for us. Dallas's assistants, the ones that we saw earlier that were missing from their quarters. Alexander's gone. Gareth still remains, and Malady still remains.
A lot.
Oh, well, this is gonna hurt a lot. So what happened to Alexander?
The chill of the Hall of Echoes clung to the Lady Vengeance as it returned to the shores of Reaper's Coast.
Whoa.
The Godwoken were alive, but what of the gods?
Yeah, we don't really know, do we? At least not right now. Now, we were sent here to talk with... Oh, I forgot her name, but it started with an M. To help us understand our powers better, to help us grow our powers. But we don't exactly know where we're going to wind up. We know we're going to Driftwood. We know it's infested with the plague and infested with dwarves. That's what we've been told so far. Dwarves are typically seen as... lower quality people in Divinity. They're like second-class citizens rather than being treated equally. But I guess you could also say the same about lizards. Lizards are also... It seems like no one really likes anybody. It seems like a lot of people stick to their own kind in Divinity. But we'll see where this leads us, and we'll see kind of opportunities we have here once we get to the Reaper's Coast.
Solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight stings your eyes. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're still aboard the Lady Vengeance. A gust of fresh sea air caresses you, and warm sunshine prickles your skin.
Gross.
One moment, please.
Malady explodes in a fit of retching that racks her body. At last, she sneezes and expels a glob of something shiny and silver onto the deck. It wriggles quickly off the siding and plummets into the sea with a splash.
What the fuck?
Better. Let's not do that again anytime soon.
Look at the empty deck. What happened to the others?
Oh, don't start. It was all I could do to save a few of them. It's no mean feat bringing an entire ship full of unspent souls to the Hall of Echoes, you know. I managed all the interesting ones, though. You're welcome. I do hope you learned something useful on our little field trip.
I met with the gods again, and they seemed desperate.
Desperate how?
Describe to her everything you saw and heard in the Hall of Echoes.
I see. So, your god seemed uncharacteristically frightened, told you the void was coming, and that only you could ascend to divinity, after which you felt a cold deep within you.
Right? That sums it up pretty well, I think.
Well then, it sounds like you need to ascend, doesn't it? And quickly.
She inspects her fingernails with great attention, then looks up at you from under an arched eyebrow.
Did they mention how you were meant to become the next divine?
So you understood you're meant to grow in powers, but you're not entirely sure where to start.
Oh, what confidence you inspire. Luckily for you, Mama Malady is here to help. We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can neither see source nor take it as you see fit.
Not gonna read this one. I mean, I know much about Divinity, but I do know that any god woken worth their salt will know how to perform all of these also fantastic feats.
You need to go see the Meister.
That's who we were gonna see. Where can I find her?
She's got one of those things in Driftwood. You know, the building where people go and they do things inside of it. A home, that's it. She's got a home in Driftwood. Give me your map. There you are. Tell her I sent you and she'll handle the rest. You're at the beginning of a long journey, Godwoken. Long, but exceedingly interesting. Now, I must be going, and so must you.
Where are you off to?
Shopping.
How do I get to the shore?
Why, our faithful little sloop, of course. We can all ride together. Won't that be terribly fun?
Okay.
Before you go, if I'm not back by the time you find out where our journey takes us next, you can call me back here. Tell the ship. She'll know how to summon me. And in the unlikely case you don't manage to do whatever it is you'll need to do to become what you need to become, you could call me, but I would be grateful if it doesn't come to that.
Hey, Fane wants to talk about his feelings.
It's rather impressive that a place named Reaper's Coast is even less cheerful than it sounds. Then again, I suppose desolate, boring, and covered in fish heads coast doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
You got a point there.
Still, here we are. I trust I needn't remind you about our agreement.
A quick summary.
Yes. I feared you may have been thinking about cheese or murder or some other organic hobby. Listen closely. It is vitally important that I gain access to the Magister's cave excavation in the nearby Black Pits.
All right. Well, he wants to uncover some stuff that they were excavating to potentially learn about what happened to the Eternals, I believe. But let's just ask to be sure.
Since my emancipation, I have sought clues of what happened to my people. In those caves, I may find answers. There are reports Magisters have been hauling mysterious ancient artifacts from the ground. I suspect it to be an Eternal site. And if even the clucking roosters of the Divine Order can find Eternal artifacts, imagine what else must lie there.
All right, I'll head to Driftwood first, though, like Malady asked us to do.
Yes, yes. I may not have ears, but I was listening. Although, once you're done with your chores, we have important business at the Black Pits. It is vital that I gain access to that dig site. Once that is understood, I am quite content. Lead on, oh adequate one.
So far, it doesn't seem like Fane likes me very much. Is there a way that I can see his attitude towards me? I don't think so. But he's not a fan. I keep saying that I'm gonna help him, and I do keep helping him, but I guess I don't put a lot of urgency into helping him.
She's something, all right.
Yeah.
I question Siva's trust in her, but Malady's usefulness is self-evident. As Lucian said, you will be eternally gifted when you act in my name.
Does he really have to quote Lucian so often? Reflect on the past and future. What happens next for you, Gareth?
I expect Malady has an answer to that. It seems she's got it all in hand.
What are you doing next?
Paradise awaits, my friend. Not an actual paradise, of course. I don't think there's such a place in all of Rivellon. Paradise Downs. My parents still sow the soil there. And if the Order hadn't called me to its ranks, I'd still call their farm my home. I miss it. I miss them. They've been forever understanding of my duty. But I admit, I've been neglectful. I have some wrongs to right.
All right, I'm going to take my leave. So we need to get on this ship. Oh, what's Tarquin going to do? We don't know much about him still.
I hadn't realized I was in such illustrious company when we met before. Most fascinating, the things I've been hearing about you.
What have you heard?
That you're, how did Malady put it again? A god-woken. Yes, that's it. Quite remarkable if it's true.
Why would that interest you?
Come now. You've seen the state of things. A potential savior from all this void-woken nonsense would be of interest to everyone with a beating heart. And some without, I would imagine.
Frown and note every word out of his mouth. Makes it seem like he has hidden motives. No, let's ask if this changes his opinion.
Tarquin pauses, taking you in. Genial smile and calculating eyes.
Most people are too sentimental to admit that friendship is a transaction. I am not. I'm sure we can both be of use to each other.
I'll decide that for myself.
If Tarquin is offended, it doesn't register on his face.
I'm sure you'll come to warm to me. Consider my full attention yours whenever you need it.
Remark that many aboard the ship died during recent ordeals. How is it that you survived, Tarquin?
Why, it was your ally, Malady, who spared me. She claimed that I might be of some use yet. Rather flattering to enjoy the favor of such a powerful being.
Yeah, let's see what he has to trade. We already traded with him. We already got some good stuff here, so I'm assuming we're not going to get anything better. At least I hope we're not, and it does not look like we are. He does have some flame runes here that I do want to buy. Investing in our future. Is this a giant? No, that's a medium flame rune. So that should be pretty good for us. Again, the higher we can get our flame resistance, the better off we're going to be. And we can add that to our weapon as well for some fire damage. We've taken the boat to the beach and we're immediately greeted by poison. So at least we know that Fane will be happy in this place. Tarquin seems to be wandering off by himself. Gareth going on his errands as well. Let's go ahead and equip these runes. So we're now dealing 3 to 4 fire damage per attack. I thought it'd be a little bit higher. And manage runes once again, just to increase our fire resistance. If we can get our fire resistance above 100%, we will heal whenever we take fire damage. An earth tongue mushroom. What does that do? Earth resistance. All right, well, first things first, let's make our way over to this shrine so we can teleport back here if we need to. We are close to leveling up once more.
A winged stone figure reaches to the heavens, a majestic sight among the leaves and branches.
Touch the globe the figure is balanced upon.
You feel weightless, as if lifted by a silent wind. For just a moment, your mind is free of wonder and worry.
All right, so we can teleport back to the Lady Vengeance whenever we want to. On the coast, there's just piles of dead fish everywhere, as well as this poison continuing to just cover the beach. So it does indeed appear that this is a plague-infested land. Her description Malady's description of this place seems to be pretty accurate. There's a little bit more of the beach that we can uncover back this way, where we began from. I just want to make sure we get all the sights in before moving on. Kind of survey the area and see. That's a fucking shark. It's still alive.
A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air.
Let's have Fane talk to it.
A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air.
Offer to drag it back into the water.
It gasps in the air, struggling for the breath to speak. Its own blood froths at its mouth.
No, die here. Monsters in the water. Monsters in the deep.
That's terrifying. Sharks are like the scariest shit in the whole world to me. And if a shark is scared of something, you know it can't be good. You have bloodstained teeth. In the sea, it should have little fear.
Monsters bigger. More and more growing.
Would you like me to put you out of your misery?
It looks at you with its cold, flat eyes as if to say, do what you will. Then it turns away and gets back to drowning in the bloody sunshine.
I mean, I'd rather kill it quick than have it suffer.
It looks at you with...
I kind of wanted to try to drag it back. What happens if I teleport it into the water? It doesn't look like I can. All right, we'll put it out of its misery. You poor thing. Yeah, we burnt it to a crisp a little bit. It has a bloodied leg. Once again, with all these body parts, we could have Fane just eat them as an elf. He can use his helmet to shapeshift into an elf, and he could eat them, and we could learn what happened to that. But I'm trying to respect the dead, and I'm intentionally doing some things to leave a little bit more discovery open for you guys, because I do really encourage that you play this game as well. You can have a drastically different experience. Looks like there's some combat happening over here. Who's this? A dead civilian. Whoa! Whoa! Was she just picked up and dragged away? Or did she just disappear? Okay, so we're fighting voidlings again. Our weapon has the ability to apply this thing called ruptured tendons. And what that does is make it so if the target moves after ruptured tendons is applied, it takes damage from each step that it takes. So we can burn something, put ruptured tendons on it, and then teleport it away. It could take a lot of damage getting back over to us. Looks like Fane's having a little bit of trouble here. One thing we could do to keep Fane alive, though, is summon in a poison incarnate. Here, we can actually just skip his turn. And then with the poison incarnate, we just attack Fane. Or put it in a position where it also splashes to Fane. Poison damage will heal him. So he's going to be completely content down there. You know, until I light that on fire. Totally on accident. I would never do such a thing on purpose. Never. It's not efficient or anything. We can waste 1 AP, move over here, and spread more fire. Now, of course, because these are voidlings, this is Cursed Flame, this is Necro Fire, which cannot be cleansed. It will burn away for quite some time. But we got a massive amount of XP by doing that. Looks like we leveled up. I am going to go ahead and put my points into intelligence and strength. As for our combat abilities, we're going to continue to boost my warfare, I believe. Because that, again, increases our HP as well. Or at least it should. Oh, that's what we lost. I see. So we respect a while ago. I was wondering why I had a new talent. We respect a while ago, and I was showing you, oh, you could remove all of your points for warfare if you wanted to. When I removed my points from warfare, we lost the picture of health talent and did not get it back. So warfare actually isn't giving us any health benefits right now. We need to get that back soon. So I suppose instead, we'll go ahead and put some points into Pyromancer. Just get that damage up a little bit more. Our fire damage is actually pretty substantial now. With our social points, I will go ahead and put another point into persuasion. Hopefully, we're going to be able to talk to NPCs and get some unique interactions with that. For Fane, we are going to go for Lore Master so he can continue to identify our gear. I am going to continue to put points into Necromancer for him. And then Intelligence and Constitution, just like we always have been. Yeah, it looks like this whole coastline is just really fucked up.
Majestic caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up.
So a Magister caravan just like this picked us up, and all we see is dead Magisters. There's a dwarf war maiden.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Back! Magister, I'll kill you, just like the rest of them!
Glancing at her blade, say you know she didn't kill anyone here.
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Reach out a hand to comfort her.
She quails at your touch, shrinking back from you. Her eyes widen and lose focus, as though she's seeing something played out before them. Her voice is shaky when she speaks.
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. And the sorcerers. Gone.
I don't see any sorcerer bodies here.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. Old Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss Lohar will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember.
What were you supposed to be doing here for Lohar?
Helping sorcerers. We thought we could help them against the Magisters, but...
She's safe now, I assure you.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you.
Well, we weren't able to convince her of too much there. We did pick up a key on the ground here, presumably from one of these Magisters that died. So... Oh, identify this please for me, Fane? That's actually pretty good. Strong will. I think we're going to equip that. Even though it does increase Necromancer, it should be a pretty sizable increase for both my auto attack damage, and with every point that you have in Necromancer, it increases... you can heal for the amount of damage that you deal, so for like a percentage of the damage. So with 1 point in Necromancer, I'd probably heal for like 5% of the damage that I deal. But if we scale up Necromancer more, we can self-heal for more off of those things. I just haven't quite decided if I think my Paladin should invest in Necromancer. Even though it is for self-sustain and I wouldn't be summoning things, I likely wouldn't use any Necromancer abilities. Having points in Necromancer doesn't seem very Paladin-like. Some chickens here. Looks like this might be the way into town. Hello.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully.
Boy.
You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
Tell him that you bring back tidings, dead Magisters and dwarves at a wrecked caravan outside of town. Say that you come with no word, you're simply passing through. Ask him for what word he seeks, or proclaim you bring words of war. Voidwoken roam Revelon, and you're here to slay them. I'm going to tell him about the dead Magisters.
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
So he wants me to talk to the head of the Magisters here.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
Of course, you know, we have our own goals. We have our own agenda here. But we've made it into the town for the first time.
This town looks peaceful enough. Let's find out if it looks deceived.
Town square statue here. We can use this to teleport back
the carved
shortly.
figure is a resplendent sight in this ramshackle village.
Place our palm against the elaborate mosaic at its base.
Your touch creates a ripple across the mosaic as if it were water and not stone. A comforting warmth spreads through you, starting at your fingertips.
All right. Let's see what this Magister has to say. Now, it could be that the Magisters of Fort Joy went against their original orders. We saw a paladin coming into Fort Joy from the Divine Order that was being attacked by Magisters. The way I understand it anyway, is that the Divine Order should have been in charge of the Magisters, so they could have just been a sect of Magisters that was rebelling. So rather than just slaying all the Magisters here, I'm going to make sure I understand what's going on. I'm going to make sure I have the full picture, and then we'll see how we want to proceed. Another shark.
The barrels and the chests on the double.
Well, they have silent watchers once again.
You too, Julian. Show them how it's done, man.
Magister Raymond.
Don't let go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
Look over at his ship and ask him where he's going.
I'm going nowhere right at this moment. Nowhere, since something crossed my path and oh so very sharply piqued my interest. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods?
Oh, God. I'm going to use my human thing. Sigh and state such cruelty is unworthy of a fellow human being. He says we're doing cruel things unto others and unto ourselves.
We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too, rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss.
What the fuck? I haven't done anything. What have I done to deserve such hostility? I literally just got to this fucking town.
Oh, no. That won't do at all. Innocence is a mask that doesn't fit you. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping by my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth. That is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
I mean, you're not. What of it? We could try strength. Take a step closer and whisper he has a lot of nerve to accuse the best source hunter west of Arx of being a sorcerer. Laugh and say you finally understand, but we're not a sorcerer. You seek to become a magister. Where can you sign? No, fuck it. Strength it is.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelled on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt, the very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters, but they do.
What do you mean by these dwarven troubles?
Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule, a beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher.
If you accept the role of rat catcher, you'll need more concrete information.
Of course. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you.
Whoa! He was teleported and knocked down.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up?
I'm gonna decide I don't want anything to fucking do with you, I think. Or, you know what, it doesn't hurt to look into the trouble of dwarves. Maybe we can help them. Okay.
How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you.
The time has come, my stitched little
Jeez.
lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
They really are just gonna leave him here. I have never done this before.
Like a dog. Bah! 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it.
Your superior told me to report to you.
Yes, I am very much aware. Wasn't my damned head that hit the floor back there. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong.
I did.
By the bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with it, man. What happened?
I discovered the caravan was waylaid by dwarven marauders. I could tell them it was destroyed by the Voidwoken, or I could tell the place was littered with dead magisters, sorcerers, and dwarves. No, it was definitely dwarves. It was all dwarves.
The pox on those bearded devils. Raymond, that old goat, always suspected there's more to the Driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove.
If you prove these accusations, you have to know where to start looking. If I want to prove these accusations, I need to know where to start looking.
There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen. It may be interesting to have a word with him, find out what he's up to. But where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the east of Driftwood.
To the east of Driftwood? To the east of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working on behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you.
Why do you suspect the dwarves are the culprits?
They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure, and hard workers too. Half of them are their queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely. A tyrant and a master strategist to boot.
If you play as Beast, which is my favorite character in the game, I played through the game once with Beast, and I'm working on a second playthrough with Beast as well, just to see what kind of differences I can get. Like I said, in my original playthrough, I killed everybody. But your main quest is to track down Queen Justinia, so it's cool that you get a little bit of information about that here. Like I said, I've never talked to this guy, so I probably know enough for now. Thank you.
Go forth and let the hunt commence.
So just because the Magisters are telling me where to go doesn't necessarily mean I have to fulfill the will of the Magisters.
Queen Justinia
If
executes 24 noblemen for insubordination. Latest news. Fresh
Stop!
from the war
Stop right in front of you! Stop yelling! king!
Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen.
Tell you
What
about the-
tickles your fancy?
Tell you about the queen.
Jolly Justinia, queen of the dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword, no sir. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen?
All right, I'm gonna be on my way. So west of town is where we need to go to investigate these dwarves initially, and we can also head under the tavern, right? And talk to Lohar himself. I want to investigate the dwarves to the west first. Remember earlier we read a cautionary pamphlet that said that there is no lighthouse in Driftwood, but it's the work of dwarven pirates. So we might be able to uncover something about that as well. But west of town we go.
Those are source hounds.
And we got source hounds.
Something got your attention, boy?
Hey, how's it going?
The hounds smell sauce on you. Plenty of it, by the sound of them. Haven't got a collar for you. Damn it. I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave. Hounds, at the ready.
I'm going to hold up my writ of passage that we received and say we got permission from the order to enter.
Fine, fine. Do all the gallivanting you want. But if a hound goes snapping at your heels, I'm looking the other way.
Well, that was easy. We could just slay these guys if we really wanted to, but I'll be on my way for now. What is up there? More voidlings. Yeah, I'm gonna follow the southern coast here. We'll try to make our way around the island once more. Again, get the lay of the land, figure out where we're at. Why not? It's a good way to explore, right? Hello!
A fisherman stares at the water, muttering to himself.
The missus will kill me. She'll tear me a new mouth halfway down my neck.
Look where he's looking.
You see nothing.
I've gone and thrown my wedding ring in the water.
Why don't you just get the ring out? It's not that deep.
I could do that. I could. But seeing as the ring has a bit of sauce to it, like as not, going in there will attract Voidwoken. All things equal, between an angry wife and Voidwoken, I'm leaning towards the wife.
I'll get the ring for you.
I'm not asking you to risk your life on account of me and my marital woes, but if you fancy a paddle, you can go right ahead.
So where is it?
What's this? I found something.
That was really easy.
Dwarves.
And it did indeed spawn voids. Slippery voidlings, and then a massive deep dweller. I wonder if this is what the shark was so worried about. It's very hard. Very hard. I'm gonna spawn a water incarnate, I hope. Please be water, please.
Glory is mine.
Looks like it's just a fucking normal incarnate. That sucks. We'll try to make it blood rain at least. Might be able to heal ourselves up with that. Based on how fucking hard this thing hit me, it's level 10. What level are we? We're level 10 as well. It just hits so hard. Alright, I guess that's my turn. I really fucking wanted to get a water incarnate so we could heal ourselves with it. But I guess we're alright. I never did learn restoration. I really regret that right now. We are going to try to keep this guy crowd controlled, I think. So we'll go ahead and knock it down this turn. I'm getting a lot of quest updates all of a sudden. I'm not too sure why. So it actually does have ruptured tendons on it. Uh-oh, they're shooting electricity at me and I'm standing in water. That's a little terrifying. Okay, luckily these guys are focusing the incarnate mostly and not me. I don't see the point of them hopping around as much as they are, though. So I am going to start to focus other things. Like this little frog here. We'll try to beat him up with the Incarnate as much as we can. I'm assuming that got by all of its armor, so we'll taunt it as well with the last little bit of AP that we have. The Void Dweller of the Deep is up, and Ruptured Tendons is no longer on him. So let's just start summoning in some totems here. He got armor back when he was knocked down. Yeah, that's not even worth our time. Oh my god, these guys are a little intimidating. Little intimidating. So being void doesn't mean he's undead, so we can't take away health by healing him. We might have to use Dome of Protection for this, which is not something I want to do, but I'm really worried about the kind of damage that this guy can deal. And the fact that he gets more armor back when we knock him down means that I'm not even going to be able to crowd control him adequately. Which is a scary prospect, I'm not going to lie. That being said, I'd rather have him heal a bit and not take any damage this turn, rather than just let him beat the crap out of me. I wonder if we could just move away from those voidlings that have the high ground there. Force them down. Our Incarnate is actually doing pretty okay on health. And voidlings hopping away for the time being. We might be able to heal the Incarnate up with Feign, depending on how this plays out. Especially if they continue to hit him with physical attacks like that. Oh! Who's shocked? We okay? Someone was stunned. Is Feign stunned? I can't tell. Alright, we'll just beat this guy up. To the best of our ability. He once again had Ruptured Tendons removed. I'm just gonna do my best to whittle down the magic armor of these things. Which is gonna be a slow process, for sure. Definitely a slow process. And that'll be the end of Feign's turn. I think we're doing all right. Seems like we're okay. I should be able to finish this thing off next turn, I think. Maybe this turn. 40 health remaining. Maybe we'll get lucky and the blood totem will actually focus him. How fantastic would that be? Of course not. Okay. No big deal, blood totem. That's fine. I probably should have summoned in more of these, but there goes the Incarnate. Now it all comes down to how hard these guys are going to hit Walter on this turn. It could be a lot. We do have a decent amount of magical armor to block that. Our physical damage dealing totem is down. And he teleported away from me. Shackles of Pain connected means any damage that we deal to the Voidwoken is now going to deal damage to Walter as well. We can just teleport him back down though, get him in range.
I'm ready.
And falling on the ground deals physical damage. So the only thing left to do is finish up these frogs. We'll summon in a totem. We'll summon in our skeletal spider up on the top, the Bone Widow. Summon that in up top. And can we heal Walter, or does he not have enough blood around? Not enough blood around. So that will be our turn here. And cleaning up these guys shouldn't be too difficult. Especially when we hit that hard. Good lord. That bone spider deals a lot of damage. Well, these frogs were way more annoying than I thought they would be, but it looks like I finally have it dealt with. I killed that voidling off really quickly, and then it took about 7 minutes to finish off the toads, just because they kept stunning us, they kept jumping around everywhere. But we got it sorted. Can I get down? I had to... Oh, there's a ladder here. I teleported Walter up to the high ground here to deal with some of the toads, but wasn't actually sure I could get back down. Looks like there's a shipment of these poison fish coming into town there. Anyway, I got your ring, bud, just like you asked. You can go back to your wife now. And problem solved,
The
right?
horrified fisherman stares at the water, muttering to himself.
That was terrifying. I need to get myself a new line of work. Something as far away from the water as I can go. Goat herd, high on a mountain. Spice trader in the desert. Anything but this. If the missus will go for it, of course. She likes the beach.
Well, here's your ring back.
You found it! How wonderful! The wife will be thrilled. Or she would if she ever found out about this, which of course she won't. But I can't thank you enough.
Take pity and give him his ring. I thought we were already doing that.
He slips the ring onto his finger, where it dangles loose.
I feel better already. Need to fatten myself up again so I don't lose it a second time. Can't be relying on the kindness of strangers to dig me out. The very best to you. I wish you well.
What do you have to sell? It's not our poisoned fish, is it? A blank skill book of necromancy. And a jug. All right. Take care.
With a new confidence in his stance, he turns back to his fishing.
Really? You're going back to fishing after that shit? Looks like there's some vines I can climb up over here to head deeper into the island. Oh god, is this all those frogs over here again? Ugh. All right, we're gonna avoid those for the time being. Try to anyway. Cause that was not the most fun.
Another Magister caravan.
This is a Magister caravan? We once again have dead dwarfs on the scene.
Worms.
A possessed summoner. What are the dwarves doing here? Did you kill these people?
The eyes of the dwarves look strange, but you can't quite make them out from this distance. Indeed, the dwarves' whole faces are strange. They seem tense, contorted, and barely aware you're there. But there's no doubt that the voice is addressing you.
Come no further. Nat, you bited us no longer.
So these are possessed dwarves. Possessed elementalist, possessed summoner. I wonder if I could pull them down here and bless them to remove the possession. I don't really know. Let's just summon in our bone golem over there. Bone widow. Can I teleport him up to the high ground? Doesn't look like I can. They 100% have the high ground advantage here. No doubt about that. Can you dig up there? Is there one spot? Nice! So these guys actually don't have any physical armor, so we'll deal direct damage to their HP. When I can attack, it'll be next turn. They have a markswoman on the high ground and another summoner on the high ground as well. Well, I should be able to get to her fairly easily, actually. Just have some vines here. She's not super tanky, but I don't think I can crowd control her this turn. Yeah, next turn. Fossil Strike just lays down... Well, there you go. I was going to say, Fossil Strike just lays down a little bit of oil on the ground. Not that they could really do anything with that, but then he, of course, set it ablaze. There's somebody in more totems up top for us to deal with. I am a little worried about letting those totems... Oh, look at the tendons. Or the ruptured tendons. She's walking and dealing damage to herself. We got so much free damage there from that. That first aid is not going to be enough to keep her alive, that is for sure. Can we summon a totem on the high ground, maybe? Looks like I need to get Fane up there. So that's what we'll do right now. Again, they don't have physical armor, so we can actually make all of them bleed. And then summon in a physical damage totem from the blood. And I think that's my turn. Oh god, I just saw more enemies on the minimap. What's going on here? A ton of Voidwoken. Holy shit. Okay, we're up and going again. Do I go in and stun her? Do I... Yeah, we'll do that. 2 AP to stun her. Actually, the stun didn't take. I must have missed. Please don't aggro those void woken on the other side of the mountain, please. Really appreciate that. Good hit from the spider. And then a miss. Attack of opportunity? Yeah! And then the bleed might be enough to kill him, actually. Maybe not. So, it looks like the archer next to me just skipped her turn. Fane is blinded, so he's having a little bit of trouble actually hitting this guy. We'll just summon a totem right in front of him anyway. He's already bleeding. And there's no way I get through his HP, so I guess that's my turn for Fane.
You will die.
Or will I? So someone are coming up the high ground. I do want to try to bless this archer before she dies, just to see if we can remove the possession. Doesn't look like it. And then with the remainder of our turn, we'll try to... You know what? We can actually just put a little fire down here, and I think that'll do us a lot of good. Right here. Not quite enough to break through that guy's magical defenses, but still pretty solid. And then we'll try to move down to the low ground with the rest of our turn. No attack of opportunity. The Bone Widow can kill off the summoner in front of it. When it's Fane's turn again, I might just summon in the Incarnate next to this other guy. Come on, burn! Not enough. Not enough. Oh, that was actually a really good rallying cry. All right, we'll summon in an Incarnate right in front of this dude. And teleport this other summoner back into the fire. Can't do that, actually. We'll put him over here as close to Walter as we can get him then. And then try to break his... Oh, we don't have line of sight. That's unfortunate. Alright, I guess that's my turn. Now! This Incarnate, it's pretty fucking hard! And of course, we didn't summon him on an element, so he's just physical damage. He teleported Fane into a trap. But then tried to move, so the attack of opportunity from our Incarnate was able to take him down. Let's climb down. We can knock this last guy down. And slowly but surely whittle through his defenses, I'm sure. Looks like we were able to deal with these possessed dwarves, no problem. One does wonder what they were possessed by, though. Go ahead and move away. There we go.
Did you see their eyes?
I did see their eyes.
Yes. Black as the grave.
Ooh. Those might be good for Fane. But he would lose his teleport. Teleport's useful. Also, it was finesse, wasn't it? Not quite as good. There's a chest up on the high ground we can try to get to. Doesn't look like there's too much of anything in it. We should talk to a vendor back in town and see what kind of skills we can get. There's dead sorcerer here. And the other caravan, we didn't find any dead sorcerers. It was literally just dwarves everywhere. Let's take a look at our map really quickly. Oh my god. Look at the mini-map. What are they? Oh, more possessed dwarves. So many of them. Oh my god. Alright, we'll leave that area alone for the time being then. See if there's anything else we can find. There's a little bit of a beach down here. We can try to get to that. Just have to do a little bit of climbing to get over there. God, there were so many possessed dwarves over on that side. Progressing through this might be a little difficult. It might be a little difficult. We have a new consumable here. Gives us +1 intelligence. Okay. An ancient lamp.
Hey, look. A lamp.
Lying at your feet is a strange lamp of ancient design. Spots of gold shimmer through the thick grime that coats it. As you hunker down for a closer look, the lamp jerks slightly, almost imperceptibly.
We've read about ancient lamps being used to trap spirits. I wonder, and we tentatively run the lamp.
The lamp feels strangely hot to your touch. As you wipe away the years of dirt and grime, it trembles in your hand. Heavy smoke spills out of the spout of the lamp, falling to your feet, where it flows away from you. The vapor arches into the air and starts to take shape before you.
Who summons what? One of you?
Hello!
His face twists into a sneer and he flexes his claws.
What's wrong, Godwoken? Did the Seven turn you down too? Or are you here seeking even more power? I should strike you down where you stand, God Taint.
Why? Ask why he would kill you for being a Godwoken.
Because it would be a kindness. I've known the power you feel, the promises you were made. I too was named Godwoken once.
And now you're a genie.
My God gave it all. Power, glory, hope. It was intoxicating. Until she took it away.
Deep inside, you can feel your God stirring. It's recoiling, revolted. No wonder Zor's Stissa turned this one away.
Unworthy, she said. Unworthy to be divine. So she gave it to another.
What kind of a monster gives you that power only to strip it from you? To promise you will be the light of the world and then cast you into darkness?
I'm sure he won't like this, but divinity can only be granted to the best. You have to say you agree with the gods.
It was my birthright. They promised me greatness and then cast me aside like a used rag.
So I looked elsewhere. The void said I could have eternal power. That I could be the light of the world. And it delivered. I have power unlike any Godwoken, even if I lack my freedom. It laughed as I was sealed away in that lamp. Be the light of the world, Godwoken, it said. Even so, it was more honest than your hellish Seven.
Grin, he might have power, but you have his lamp. That's funny. Tell him he's a fool. Power is nothing without freedom.
I may be bound to that lamp, but I can still strike you down with a thought. Other fools will find my prison. I will have my freedom someday. And until then, I am happy to do my bit to rid the world of one god's puppet. The next passing imbecile can have your wish.
Let's see. Snarl. That he can grant you a wish, or he and his lamp will spend the spend infinity at the bottom of a well. That's our strength one. Offer a deal. The dungeon grants you a wish, you'll set it free. I'm not going to set him free if he has powers from the void. Intelligence. Argue that not all Godwoken are bad. If you have the god's power, you can fix their mistakes. I like that one the most. Tell the Jinn that he's lucky the lamp protected him from the horrors that the gods unleashed on the world. Let's try intelligence. Hey!
You see the rage in the Jinn's eyes fade a little. He flexes his claws as he thinks over what you've said.
Perhaps you are right. I have spent so long locked away with nothing but anger for company. Very well, Godwoken. Tell me, what do you wish for? Do you wish for power, wealth, knowledge, or to see your enemies gone?
Power, wealth, knowledge, or wish to be able to wipe enemies from sight. Woo! I am going to say I wish for knowledge. I'm gonna try.
A hungry mind. Very well. Let's find us something to feed it. There are as many ideas in the world as grains of sand on the beach. But I think you will find this one especially intriguing. You have had your wish, Godwoken. We are done here.
What are you... Okay. So, think of the fight skill book. So he gave me a skill book because I wish for knowledge. The more the merrier. Gain a damage boost for every nearby character. Oh my god, that could be really good considering our current circumstances. Where There's just a ton of enemies around every corner. Can I climb up this wall? Suppose not. Well, I think we actually got his lamp too. That sells for 2,000 gold. That's not a bad deal at all. In the past, I talked to that guy and I wasn't able to pass any of his persuasion checks. So he attacked me. He's actually a very difficult enemy. So, whoa.
Just when I think this land holds still.
So I was really glad that I didn't have to go down that route this time. These possessed rogues have buckets on their head. This is not going to be an easy one to get by. That's for sure.